Yeah, we've had, occasionally we deal with a lot of distressed asset papers. So sometimes these deals go bad. And what happens when it goes to foreclosure or the person's not paying? Now, we're not servicing the loans ourselves necessarily on a lot of these deals. So the person who lent the money is now faced with the task of foreclosing. But what we usually do is we try and help mitigate this by getting involved. Like we'll go back to the borrower and try and have them, negotiate out a settlement or what have you. But in one instance, to your point, like when it went sideways, the person kept kind of snowballing the investor. I'm going to pay up. I'm going to pay up. Hold off on the foreclosure. And finally, they filed a bankruptcy on him.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Investor Fuel podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil, and today I'm joined by someone I've been looking forward to chatting with, Christopher Quintal, who's been making serious moves in the private money mortgage space. So really glad to have you on the show, Christopher. I think the listeners are really going to take something away from how you're approaching helping investors secure their deals and just their financing resources. So let's dive into all of that.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So first off, for people who may not be familiar with you and your world, can you give us the short version of what is your main focus these days?
Our main focus is private money investing. We provide private money loans, provide investment opportunities for private investors that want to invest in mortgage loans, either directly as the primary beneficiary, in which they own the whole loan, or in a mortgage fund. We also have LendSafe Capital Partners, in which accredited investors are able to invest. And again, this is all secured by private money mortgages, mortgages backed by actual hard assets.
Amazing. And what markets are you operating in?
We market predominantly in Southern California is our main market. We're licensed in California, but we've been providing loans and financing in other states. We've been doing quite a few deals in Hawaii recently, just kind of odd. We take it where it comes, but we've done deals in the Midwest. We've done deals in Florida. So we have a number of kind of referral partners that have been bringing us opportunities, and we evaluate everything and then decide what's best for our investors to invest in.
Amazing. Love that. Yeah, I would love for you to expand on how you support these investors in really finding what the best option is for them. A lot of the listeners are maybe newer to investing, and I think they can benefit from, learning more.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Our main focus is protecting the investor's capital, whether it's small investors, we take in small mom and pop investors, and we take in large syndicates and, people that are large investors that are representing trusts, representing big money, because we've done loans anywhere from, $50,000 to $5 million in private capital, and it's all private. So it's not bank financing. It's more intelligently common sense underwriting. They're looking mostly for the investor, the underlying asset, to make sure that the investor is protected. And that's the most important thing that we look at. We're sourcing the deals. We're the ones providing the deals to the investor. We send them out the executive summary, said, here's what it is that we have. And then they can take a look at it. And many of them are sophisticated and do their own due diligence. But we do that based on the investor. Meaning, like, if it's a small investor and they're kind of new to this, we really handhold them along, kind of show them the ropes. In many cases, when it's local, something like Southern California, it's something that they can physically go out and touch it. Say, here's the address. Go drive by this and see what it is that we're telling you. See, here's all the comparable sales. So they get a comfort level of what it is they're investing in. And then the more sophisticated, higher end firms, they go out and they do their own due diligence anyway. But we like to stay involved with the investor. We don't just kind of try and hand it off and say, here you go, because this is how we've developed long-term relationships with the investors. As they trust us, they know that anytime, there's a problem, they pick up the phone, they call, and we get working on it. And we work as best as we can to protect their investment. Because at the end of the day, it's about preservation of their capital. They get their capital back and they get all the money that they contracted for. But, these investors are, our lifeblood. So we take care of them. We make sure they're as protected as possible and make sure they're in good, secure investments.
Yeah, that's so important. So what has been the key to keeping that business running smoothly?
Running smoothly, I have an excellent staff. I like to take the credit and say, it's all my doing. No, it's not all my doing. I have really good people. I get compliments on that all the time. Any of the investors that have called in, even the borrowers that call in and say, your staff is fantastic. We love dealing with them. They're on top of it. They're responsive. They answer their phone calls and emails, and they handle a lot of the things that I do. I'm not trying to get the deals and working with the investors, but the actual back-end paperwork is by our Century City mortgage staff here that we have. And they also handle the deal flow and processing of whatever it needs to be done. But that's my backbone. Thank God.
Yeah, the team is so important. Amazing. So every operator I know had a moment in business where things got real. Maybe a deal went sideways, or you just had to make a pivot fast. Would you mind sharing one of those moments that you've experienced?
Yeah, we've had, occasionally we deal with a lot of distressed asset papers. So sometimes these deals go bad. And what happens when it goes to foreclosure or the person's not paying? Now, we're not servicing the loans ourselves necessarily on a lot of these deals. So the person who lent the money is now faced with the task of foreclosing. But what we usually do is we try and help mitigate this by getting involved. We'll go back to the borrower and try and have them, negotiate out a settlement or what have you. But in one instance, to your point, when it went sideways, the person kept kind of snowballing the investor. I'm going to pay up, hold off on the foreclosure. And finally, they filed a bankruptcy on him.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
And, our investor was like, hey, what do I do with this? So just sit tight. The beauty is you've got more than enough equity covering your play. So it's kind of reassuring the investors sometimes. That's the whole point of this conservative loan to values when you're investing is you're protected. Now, it went through the bankruptcy and we analyzed it and we said, you know what, just plow forward with the foreclosure. This is, this is going to sort itself out. He's not going to be able to keep you away anymore. And finally, they tried some last minute stunt, but our attorneys advised them correctly, and they ended up foreclosing, taking back the property. And then they were able to turn around and resell those properties and make far more money than they ever would have just on the loans themselves. So it was something that they were very worried about. But at the end of the day, they came out better than they would have just on the loans. So that's a scenario that we don't like to go through. Like, we've very rarely do any of our investors foreclose or have to foreclose. They usually get paid off or refinanced out or sell the property. But in this case, we navigated through it. We got the investor through it, and they made more money than they would have on just the loan. So they were very happy with us, naturally.
Amazing. So what are you most focused on solving or scaling next?
Scaling is the most important thing that we're focused on. We have a lot of investors, but we've gotten deal flow that has been pretty active recently, especially. We've really been getting a lot. That's why I say I think a lot of this is coming to the marketplace, and we're going to see a lot more of it. And we're trying to get more investors involved in this. It's really good opportunities to make really solid returns on your money, either through individual investing, like we take individuals and invest in just the mortgages in which they're the beneficiary and they own the whole loan, and we just provided them with the opportunity, we broker it to them. Or if they want to stay fully invested for a longer period of time, then we have a mortgage fund, which allows them to buy limited partner shares and then not have to be involved in the back and forth of the servicing of the mortgage. We then handle all that. Again, that's for accredited investors. But that's the sort of thing that we're looking to scale, both on that side and the private investor side. So people looking for opportunities out there, we're open for business.
Amazing. That's exciting. And yeah, like when it comes to growing your business and scaling, what kind of action steps are you guys taking in order to achieve those goals?
We're reaching out to the investment community. We're soliciting a lot more of the private offices and places that invest in this sort of thing. But we're also reaching out to our existing investor base in order to have them participate in the fund and also to bring in other investors. A lot of this is word of mouth. A lot of this is referral. Like, sometimes there are investors that have done really well on this stuff. They keep coming back for more, and then they bring in friends and family. They say, hey, we've done really well on these loans. Like, my sister, brother, cousin, they want to get in on this. So we're trying to be a bit more aggressive about expanding that so that more people are able to take the opportunities that we provide and get involved in this. It's a really strong asset class, and it's a good opportunity for investors of all stripes to get involved in. And that's what we're trying to push forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So if an investor maybe has never worked with mortgage loans or gotten a loan before and they're considering this journey with you guys, like, what are some of those common educational tools that you teach someone that's doing this for their first time?
Yeah, that's a good question. What we usually try and do is, first off, I have a nice conversation with the people, just kind of see where their head's at, what sort of things they're looking for, what level of sophistication they have in regard to this. And then for somebody who's, especially the newer people, we try and give them a taste of what it is that we do. Instead of just coming to them and say, here, we want you to invest in this, I say, here's what's going on right now. Here's an executive summary of a deal that another investor has already committed to. Here's what the deal looks like. Here's what the terms look like, so that they can kind of shadow what the other investor is doing and check it out for themselves and see what it looks like. Here's the process. Here's what it looks like. Here's what the paperwork looks like. So they can kind of get a sense of the process of this. They get a sense of what types of loans they're looking at, what types of properties. They can go kick the tires and check it out, just like the investor that's investing in it is going to do. They can go do that themselves and kind of get a comfort level before they actually have to put any money in. So they see the transaction all the way through that some other investor just did. And it gives them a little bit of kind of education, but it's their own due diligence. They have to be comfortable with the investment. And by doing that a couple of times, and once the investor gets a real comfort level with it, we find that they're more open and receptive to taking a look and taking a plunge and trying out putting their money into a loan.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so important for people to feel comfortable before making such a
Mhm.
big decision.
For sure.
So, what is the next real goal for you?
The next real goal is to get the mortgage fund. We've got some investors that are pledged commitments for the mortgage fund, Lensate Capital Partners, in order to be able to scale so that we're keeping investors' funds constantly deployed as opposed to having to go back and forth to them. That's very cumbersome. And they can stay fully invested instead of having to ping pong in and out of the loans, which some investors like to do. But for the ones that want to stay fully invested, the fund model works better. So we're circling the wagons and getting everybody involved that we need to. We're going to family office conventions and conferences and meeting up with a lot of those type of people in order to scale. And we'd like to get the fund up to north of 25 million by the next 12 months.
Amazing. Yeah, that's a big goal, but I'm sure that you guys are, ready to handle it.
Yeah, well, like I said, we broker these out and we've been putting out over 20 million a year worth of private money investment. And that's just based on individual investors. So if we have access to more significant capital, it'll enable us to handle more deal flow and put out more money and take advantage of more of these opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. And what other opportunities are you seeing right now that people maybe not are not aware of, but can take advantage of?
Positions, depends on the market to try and guess the market, especially here in Southern California. It's a little wacky, but you're starting to see some opportunities to purchase. You're starting to see some, multifamily is a lot of distress in multifamily, and there's opportunities to actually acquire properties. We do that as well. We're a full service, like real estate brokerage firm, both residential and commercial. And then that helps with a lot of the investments that we deal with on the mortgage side as well. That's another thing another benefit that we bring is able to facilitate transacting real estate when somebody has a loan and they can't pay anymore, or they want to get out of the asset. We can take listings and get the property sold and liquidate their positions. So we're seeing I think there's going to be a lot more investment opportunities, and we do lend also to the fix and flip crowd. So when they take advantage of some of these opportunities, like we're there with the money and giving them bridge loans to finance the acquisition and then construction of the property. And I feel like there's going to be a lot more of that activity coming up in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. So, when it comes to growing your business and building new relationships, what do you feel has made the biggest difference for you?
There's a trust factor to it, and you have to establish credibility. It's easier when it's kind of a warm lead, when we have investors that have referred us people, and it's a solid referral and they trust the people that referred them. So that's kind of an easier one. But for people that are new to us and just recently met, I believe that our approach that I referred to before of really hand-holding them and kind of showing them what it is that we do so that they can get a real sense of who we are and what type of investments that we bring to the plate is helpful, because it all comes down to trust. They're investing and they're trusting us with managing the investments, or bringing them intelligent investments for them to make money, but have their capital secured. And on the brokerage side, when we do it, that's another trust factor. We don't actually take in their money when we're brokering the deal. Like, they're funding it directly into the title insurance company. So the transaction's insured by the title insurance company, that their loan is being made and all the proper documents are filed. So that's another element of trust that I think is really important. And that's my most important thing that I'm trying to convey to the people, is trustworthiness of how we operate and how we protect our investors.
Absolutely. Trust and relationships are everything in this space.
Yeah, there's a lot of money swirling around, and
Yeah.
people putting anywhere, whether it's 50,000 or 5 million, and when that money is a significant portion of your investment dollars, in some cases, trust is critical. They really need to know and feel comfortable at what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. What is like a common gap that you see in this industry that maybe your specific business fills?
The gap is the availability of capital. I mean, I've been doing this for 30 years, so I've seen all of the different waves, all of the different players come to the market and come and go, and been through the financial crisis, 2008. And when you see those ups and downs, especially in an environment right now where the banks are very difficult, it's difficult to get bank loans through. You have to be letter perfect. You have to have perfect credit. You have to have perfect tax returns. And what we provide is kind of a bridge between that. Because we do those types of loans. And what our ultimate goal is to get the property owners to that position where they can get institutional financing. But a lot of times they don't really understand how to do that. And what our bridge does is, and for many instances, is it gives them kind of a lifeline, gives them to be able to kick the can down the road. In order to be able to get that institutional financing in the future, they have to get their house in order now. They have to pay off bad debts, get properties in good condition, get their taxes in order, get their taxes filed. I can't tell you how many times people are like 3, 4, 5 years with no tax returns filed. Like, that is not going to get you a good bank loan. So a lot of the bridge that we fill the gap of engineering their portfolio so that they can ultimately have an end game of institutional financing with, the best available rates possible for the long term. Because what we do is short-term in nature. Our bridge loans are between 1 to 5 years. So I said, this is just a Band-Aid. We're trying to fix a larger problem. But the larger problem involves analyzing all those different components to getting institutional financing. Tax returns, credit, liquidity, condition of property. We look at all of that. And that's kind of the gap where a lot of things are missed, where people don't really understand how to navigate those waters and get themselves to the backside where they can really take a look at the best available financing for the future.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very important to share. So thank you for that. And before we wrap up here, if someone wants to reach out, connect, collaborate, learn more from you, where is the best place for them to find you?
They can reach us here at the office at 310-557-12. That's the office line here. And also at centurycitymortgage.com. or lendsafecapital.com, and all the YouTubes and the Instagrams and all that sort of stuff. I try and do my best to get the message out, but it's a work in progress.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate your time, story, and perspective.
Well,
So yeah, thanks for being here.
thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Take care.
And yes, for those that are tuning in, if you got value from this, make sure you've subscribed. We have more conversations coming with operators just like Christopher, who are out here building real businesses. And we'll see you all on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.